Everyone, welcome to another episode of the old JPNN, the final episode without the teleprompter. It's currently installed. I don't know why you guys are, why I'm telling you about this. We'll probably use it Friday, but I have to wait for some other parts to come in. So you get one more day of me reading the news like this, but from now on, after that, I'm staring into your souls, motherfuckers. Let's begin and discuss a little bit about PlayStation. Former PlayStation employee Emma Maho is suing PlayStation again in a potential class action gender discrimination lawsuit, this time in California, after a federal judge dismissed her first lawsuit, last month. We reported on the first lawsuit being dismissed back on the JPNN episode on April 22nd, where the judge has given Emma a 28 days, quote, leave to amend to prepare a second complaint that addresses the judge's concerns. The new lawsuit is now a narrower complaint with more specific details. Instead of seeking damages for all women who worked for PlayStation in the US, it's trying to get them for women below the vice president level who worked at PlayStation's California locations, including San Francisco and San Diego, also known as San Diego. Obviously, stay classy. The new lawsuit largely collects allegations made in Maho's original November complaint and those of several other women who work or worked at PlayStation and described their experiences in declarations made public back in March. The suit states, quote, because of Sony's systemic pattern and practice of gender discrimination, the plaintiff and members of the proposed class have suffered harm, including lost compensation, back pay, employee benefits, and emotional distress. It specifically alleges violations of California's Equal Pay Act. Sony reps, obviously, did not reply to a request for comment on the case. You can find more information from Axios over at Axios.com on that ongoing lawsuit. And we'll, of course, be covering it in the coming weeks, I am sure. Yesterday, speaking of lawsuits, Activision Blizzard, of course, can't keep themselves out of the news. A group of 12 employees from Activision Blizzard formed an anti-discrimination committee aimed at combating sex and gender discrimination at the company. The committee gathered a list of demands, which they submitted Tuesday morning to Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick. I'm sure that went straight to his eyes and he read it immediately. Diversity Officer Kristen Hines and Chief Human Resources Officer Julie Hodges. They obviously both read it. Some of their demands were allow workers to be able to meet with the Equal Employment Opportunity Coordinator on Diversity and Inclusion Initiatives, who was appointed as part of the federal sexual harassment settlement. Ending undocumented chats with human resources, restricting retaliation against employees who file disputes, and the institution of independent investigations around discrimination claims. And finally, requesting the creation of an employee trans network for support of its transgender staffers. They came out and gave some quotes. Emily, let's go with Neef, who's a senior motion graphic designer at Blizzard, said, my hope in joining the committee is that we don't let the fervor die down until there's a meaningful, long-lasting change. She goes on and says, at the end of the day, I would like to go into work and not have to think about anything but my work. But based on everything that has been happening, even well before it broke through the headlines, it's been taking up a sizable portion of my day, having to think about the inaction of leadership. Activision did reply in a statement. They say, quote, we appreciate that these employees want to join with us to further build a better Activision Blizzard and continue the progress we have already made. That was Activision Blizzard spokesperson Jessica Taylor. She goes on and to say, we have, for example, already upgraded our lactation facilities, waived arbitration, hired new DEI and EEO leaders, and collaborated with employees to make our policies and processes more trans inclusive, just to name a few issues the letter raises. Looks like they didn't comment on anything about, what their role is moving forward, but I guess we'll see. Seems like a good change altogether. Good change altogether. Sorry, the camera's a little bit different position, so it looks like I'm goleming over here. We had an email that was posted online confirming that players subscribed to PlayStation Plus at a discount may have to pay the discount back to Sony in order to upgrade to PS Plus Extra or Premium. I did not misspeak. That is exact. The new PlayStation Plus service launched in Asia this week and is due to go live in Japan, the Americas, Europe, and Australia in June. Some Asian players reported that anyone who purchased PS Plus subscriptions at a discounted price, including those who choose to stack subscriptions before the option was disabled earlier this month, are being charged extra to upgrade to a different PlayStation Plus tier, wiping out any previous savings they made buying reduced cost memberships. This appears to be confirmed in an email from PlayStation's Hong Kong support team, which was published on Reset Era and translated by VGC, the Video Game Chronicle. It reads as followed, quote, "Thank you for contacting PlayStation support and checking the price of your PlayStation Plus membership subscription. Since you purchased PlayStation Plus at a discounted price at the time of membership, there are 2 PlayStation Plus memberships that cannot enjoy other discounts. PlayStation Plus membership bought with a discount, number 1, and number 2, PlayStation Plus membership redeemed with redemption code. Therefore, if you need to upgrade to level 2 or 3 premium membership, you will need to make up the difference between the previous discounted price and the normal price. For example, this is all in their response. For example, a PlayStation Plus membership for 308 Hong Kong, is it Hong Kong dollars? I hope I'm getting that correct. For 1 year, and the discounted price is 187.6 Hong Kong dollars. The difference is 120.4 Hong Kong dollars divided by the number of months remaining. Please rest assured that the system will automatically calculate the difference that needs to be repaid if you need to upgrade. Of course, you can also upgrade or downgrade your membership according to your preference." What the fuck? That's all. I mean, that's bad. What a terrible way to like launch your service right out of the gate. Yeah, here's a cool new service. Oh, you bought all your stuff on discount? Well, you're going to have to pay that back now in full price. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Have fun. Yeah, Sony's on that Netflix plan of making sure that people just get the fuck off of your stuff. We're getting I haven't hit this button in a while. We've got a key chat alert, guys. Zykoa in the chat is saying they may have fixed it about an hour ago. No source whatsoever. But maybe this whole thing was for naught. I don't know. We'll try to get a follow-up on this on Friday, on the Friday edition of JPNN. On a related news, or in some related news, the new PS Plus launched in Asia with far fewer than 700 titles that were reported. For example, in Hong Kong, there are only 269 titles with the new PlayStation Plus tier. Even on the highest tier, Deluxe/Premium, the titles are not even close to 500. A note on PlayStation's website reads, "These games are now available to play as part of the PlayStation Plus Asia launch. More titles will be added soon, along with a list of catalog games available in each country/region as PlayStation Plus rolls out." Fans have replied to the launch tweet over there saying, "Official launch lineup is barely 30% of what was promised in the announcement. Service has 230-ish games in total, while PS advertised it has 740 in total. Just by going off PS5 and PS4 games, it should be 400, yet it is not even 200. I like the service, but it's a terrible launch." Another fan said, "And we got 12 PlayStation 1 games, 5 PSP games, 4 PS2 games, and for now, deluxe level is just not worth it to upgrade at all." The current list of games released for Asia as of now is 219 plus for PS Plus Extra, and 50 games for PS Plus Deluxe. We'll see what happens when that launches in America and elsewhere in the world as well. See what those game titles are. I also read that for, I want to say it was for anything PS3, anything that has DLC, they will not be purchasable no matter what. So any PS3 games that have DLC, you can't get it at all. Kind of a rocky launch there for old PlayStation. We'll see what happens when that rolls out to the rest of the globe here in the next couple of weeks. The Marvel MMORPG that was in development last year at Dimension Inc. and Daybreak Games, the team behind the fellow online superhero game DC Universe Online, has been canceled to focus on, quote, alternative projects. Enad Global 7, the holding company that owns Daybreak, revealed in a press release that is, quote, discontinuing its Marvel game to a change in, quote, the development priorities, and will instead, quote, focus on alternative long-term projects. Wonder if they realized it was just not going to do well, or if they're going mobile. I don't know. I'm not sure. EA DICE is ceasing development of Hazard Zone content for Battlefield 2042. The studio has confirmed it's no longer producing content for Hazard Zone, the new mode that was pitched as the series' own take on the intense experiences seen in Escape from Tarkov. In a Battlefield briefing blog post, it's explained that while Hazard Zone will still be playable, the mode will not be worked on anymore. Straight from their answers.ea.com post, quote, all of us on the team had great ambition and high hopes for this new Battlefield experience throughout our development, but we were the first to hold our hands up and acknowledge that it hasn't found the right home in Battlefield 2042, and that we'll benefit greatly from letting our focus and energy stay on the modes we see you engaging with the most. Those modes, of course, called Battlefield 5. Yesterday, Mark Dragon's Dogma, my editor spelled Dragon's Dogma as Dragon's Dogama, and I like that name a lot better. That sounds fantastic. It was the 10-year anniversary. To celebrate the occasion, Capcom released a new artwork and logo, as well as a new website. They put out some statements. I think this was from Twitter. It might be also from their news.capcomusa.com post. It says, quote, to celebrate this momentous milestone, the foundation it created, and the bonds that were forged between people and pawns alike, we hope you join us in the celebration of a decade of endless adventures with Dragon's Dogma as we look forward to the future. We're very excited for this 10-year celebration and can't wait to get you all involved as well. Their masterworks, all you can't go wrong. If you remember, there was a giant leak that I think happened in November of last year, and a little bit of a refresher in February this year, that Dragon's Dogma 2, among many other titles, is currently being worked on from Capcom. I'd love to see a trailer for that at Summer Game Fest. We'll see if Capcom can deliver. It'd be fantastic. Oh, it was November 2020, not last year. A while back, but that would mean sense that would make sense timeline-wise in terms of how games work, that we might see it this year. Who could say? Arc System Works is celebrating their Guilty Gear Strive 1-year anniversary today. You might listen to that soundtrack after that in celebration, because man, it's a banger. During the celebration, they announced the following. There's a large-scale balance update for Guilty Gear Strive that will be released on June 10th. It will include balance tuning for all characters, changes to overall game mechanics, and control improvements. A beta test. This is the big news. A beta test for cross-platform play between PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and PC will begin this summer. Very big deal. And there's also a starter edition 2022 version of the game for PS5 and PS4 that will be released in Japan on August 9th, which includes the base game and Season 1 Pass content. Cool. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes will be coming to Nintendo Switch, as revealed on their Kickstarter page. They put out a statement and said, quote, that's right, as if they're talking to us. That's right, given recent speculation over Nintendo Switch and potential next generation Nintendo iterations, that's a statement, We wanted to play it safe and investigate what options we had before fully committing to a Nintendo Switch version. But now the wait is over. We're delighted to confirm that Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes will also be landing on Nintendo Switch. That game reviewed pretty mid, but it seems like Switch is a pretty good platform for the type of game that is. So maybe it'll find an audience there. Square Enix's Forspoken has received an age rating in the EU. It is now rated PEGI 18. I wish I could do the voice, which is equivalent to the mature rating in the ESRB here in the US. Yesterday, we watched a trailer for the art reveal, which was also a date reveal for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That'll be launching on October 28th later this year. We also watched a trailer for a brand new For the King 2 announcement from developer Iron Oak Games and Curve Games. That's, of course, the sequel to 2018's For the King. It'll be coming to PC via the Steam platform in 2023. If you aren't aware, it's a turn-based roguelite tabletop RPG that does support online co-op. The first For the King allowed up to 3 players to play together, but For the King 2 is bumping that up to 4, both online and locally. I've spent a little bit of time with that game and had an absolute blast. I should probably play a little bit more of it because we never finished it or anything. Lord of the Rings Gollum is launching on September 1st to PCs and consoles, with the Switch version coming out at a later date. V Rising has now sold 1 million copies, the company tweeted. They said, 1 million vampires have risen from their slumber. Thank you all for being part of this achievement. It's fantastic. Game deserves it. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. It's $20. I got about 50 hours out of it, killing all the bosses. You could probably get more if you play on a PvP server or anything like that, or just play on your own server. It's fantastic survival, fun time, a lot of fun. Combat definitely reigns supreme. I'll keep pitching that game as often as I can because it's great. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 has also announced that they sold over 1 million units. I have no idea what this game is. Their tweet says, mission accomplished, Sniper. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 has now sold over 1 million units. We'd like to thank our loyal troops who supported the series over the years and also welcome all new recruits who've taken up arms this last year. I guess that's been out for a while. The Dune Spice Wars roadmap has been revealed. It will include multiplayer and a new faction coming this summer. You can find the full roadmap, I believe, on their Twitter if you're a Spice Wars fan. I've heard pretty good things about that game. I haven't checked it out myself, but the buzz seems positive for everything coming out of it. Replaced, which is that 2.5D retro futuristic cinematic platformer, has been delayed to 2023 due to the current war in Ukraine. They issued the following statement. Quote, today we're making the very difficult decision to delay Replaced until 2023. Unfortunately, the continued war in Ukraine has heavily impacted the development of Replaced, as most of the team resides in the neighboring regions. The priority for Sad Cat, the developers, was for the safety of the team and for their families. As a result, part of the team has now relocated and work has only recently restarted on Replaced. We are continuing to work hard to match the quality you've come to expect from the trailer, but are prioritizing both the physical and mental health of the developers by not forcing the original deadlines that have been unexpectedly impacted. Thank you all for your continued patience and support for Replaced and Sad Cat Studios. If you're wondering what the hell is Replaced and why should I care, it was that game that was in the Xbox conference last year that everyone fell in love with the art style and overall vibe of the trailer. So we'll play it whenever it's ready. Shout out to you guys and good luck with everything. Stay safe. Obviously, very scary time for anyone in that region. Sniper Elite 5 comes out later this week. Review scores are in. IGN gives it a 7 out of 10. Eurogamer calls it essential. Games Radar a 4.5 out of 5. Hobby Consolas an 83 out of 100. And Shack News a 9 out of 10. At time of recording, there's 11 critics. It's got an 84 Metacritic and an Open Critic with 40 critics in it, sitting at an 81, which seems to be about where those games generally live most of the time. So I think it's on Game Pass as well, ? So you can get it for there if you own Game Pass. Yesterday, former Nintendo of America boss Reggie Fils-Aimé had an interview with the Washington Post. During it, Reggie was asked about the then upcoming Raven Union vote and the industry's growing push to organize. It came out and said, quote, as a leader, you need to look hard. And if this is what your employees want, you need to address that and embrace it and move forward. I've worked in industries that have had high levels of unionization. That is not a good or bad thing. It is a situation that as a leader and as an executive, you need to manage just like any other challenge, issue, or opportunity that you face. Kotaku did that full interview. If you want to go read it yourself, I love Reggie Fils-Aimé. He's got a new book. Definitely check it out. I'll give you a free shout out. You're also welcome on Drop Frames anytime you want to come on, but you have no idea that the show exists or that I even exist to begin with. In an interview with the Washington Post, Twitch's VP of Trust and Safety, Angela Hessian, said that they may start telling people why they've been banned. Can I just take a break from the show flow and just, that's such a stupid statement to have to like read. You know? It's like such a silly, let me reread that for effect here. In an interview with the Washington Post, Twitch's VP of Trust and Safety, Angela Hessian, said that they may start telling people why they've been banned. I know Angela. I've spoken with Angela multiple times. Fantastic person. She's just kind of delivering the news that Twitch has decided. So this is not directed at her whatsoever, but like, come the fuck on. The quote exactly is, safety is a journey, and this is a number one ask from our community. So we're looking at how we can attach more details for people to understand, like the video itself. That's definitely something we're working on, she said. Specifics and clarity, quote, end quote, will be shared after Twitch has nailed down how it wants to roll out the feature. Just put just give the timestamp. Like what? Why would you not just include the timestamp? It seems, I can't immediately think of the issue why you wouldn't do that. And I'm not saying that means that it's a golden idea, but I can't think of a reason why. I don't know. Moving on, Bloober, once again back in the news. The CEO, Piotr Babino, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name, spoke to IGN and talked about about working with licensors and how they turned down the opportunity to make a Saw game for Blair Witch. Oh, instead of Blair Witch is maybe I think is what we're trying to say there. Quote, Lionsgate came to us and said, guys, we love Bloober's breakout game, Layer of Fear. We saw what you guys are doing with Observer, so we'd like to work with you. We know that you would like to do your own games, so please, this is our list of our horror IPs. Choose one. We could have chosen Saw, which is more popular than Blair Witch, but we decided to take Blair Witch because the universe has many opportunities to build something new. This was the reason we chose this project. A Saw game would be kind of bad. I agree. Blair Witch is just more of a fun game thing. I think Zeke played that game as well, and he said it was all right. So, finally, and maybe most importantly, Microsoft Flight Simulator, SAMs, fans, is what I meant. I combined the two words there. The Top Gun Maverick expansion is now available for free. So if you want to get into the danger zone, you can at this very moment. I might even go do that later this afternoon on the stream. It's been a lot of fun doing JPNN these past couple of months. On Friday, we're kind of doing the next evolution, which is a teleprompter. I'm going to be looking into your souls all the time from now on. And eventually, I'll be moving to a different room entirely for the news. So we're kind of leveling up the game. Thank you guys for joining us on the journey. Also, to kind of restate in a different way than I did last episode, we will be doing some sort of TikTok/YouTube short version of JPNN. Regardless, though, the long form version, the current version that we're doing right now, as I'm speaking to you, will always be there. So the short versions will just be for people that maybe don't have 25 minutes like this episode to watch in its entirety. We're playing around with the format, trying to see if I need to re-record a headline ramble or if Reggie wants to just cut that down to begin with. We'll let you know. If you have any thoughts or comments, feel free to post in the chat. As always, like the video, drop a comment for the algorithm, and subscribe if you're not already. We'll see you Friday for more news and the first iteration of whatever this teleprompter is. We're out. See you then. Bye-bye.